Sanctuary cities. So 4 mayors are all off the chart left. Eric Adams, New York; Brandon Johnson, Chicago; Michelle Wu, Boston; Mike Johnston, Denver. So they have to show up, testify before the House Oversight Committee. That's James Comer's committee. 2 sound bites for you. Mayor Wu of Boston basically defied the federal government. Said, look, I'm not obeying Homeland Security detainers. We're not going to do it, period. Roll tape.
I quoted Tom Homan, the so-called border czar, saying that he wanted to bring hell. He was bringing hell to the city of Boston. What did you understand him to mean by that?
Let's talk about Tom Homan. Shame on him for lying about my city, for having the nerve to insult our police commissioner who has overseen the safest Boston's been in anyone's lifetime. Bring him here under oath and let's ask him some questions. I am here to make sure that the city of Boston is safe. Others may want to bring hell. We are here to bring peace to cities everywhere.
No, it's just rhetoric. So Boston is a safe city, and it's because of community policing. I don't have time to do a report on it, but they do a good job up there. The city's running down. As I told you, I was there last weekend. But as far as violent crime is concerned, the Boston PD has formed an alliance with churches in high crime neighborhoods, and it's worked. And their crime rate is under control in Boston. That's what Wu is saying. Because our crime rate is under control, we don't have to obey any ICE undocumented migrant crime stuff. We don't have to obey it. Well, she's wrong. And she'll learn the hard way, because the federal government will sue her and Boston, and that'll cost Bostonians millions of dollars to defend a suit, and in the end, she'll lose. Because federal law overrides state and local law everywhere, no exceptions. All right, so the other guy is Brandon Johnson. This is the guy who embarrassed himself. And I used to live in Denver. It was a totally different city when I lived there. But Johnson embarrassed himself because the suburb of Aurora, where I actually lived, okay, was infiltrated by Venezuelan gangs who caused all kinds of trouble. Roll the tape.
I'm asking about Mr. Abraham Gonzalez, who's a gang member from Venezuela, stole a car, assaulted someone. You had him in your custody for how long?
I know that we released
345 days you had him in custody. And I said, hey, can you give us 48 hours heads up?
I don't know.
You gave him 1 hour notice.
Mr. Congressman, we notified them of release. There were 6 ICE agents present when he was released, so they had enough time to respond and to be present.
Respond where?
To the jail where we released him from. So we released him we notified them of the release time. When we notify them of release, they come to the jail facility to pick them up.
Well,
They're
why
still
didn't you
on.
say it? That's not what you said. You said you release him to the streets. Did you release him to the streets? You release him to ICE? It's a simple question. You can release him in the parking lot, give ICE 1 hour notice, and they got to send 6 officers to arrest this guy. Or you can say, hey, what? Here's what we're going to do. We're going to hold him. You come in and bring 2 officers in, and you turn him over there. Why not do it that way?
We have a city ordinance.
You know why you don't do it that way?
We have a city ordinance that governs.
Because you're a sanctuary city. This is the whole point.
No, sir, I disagree with you.
Oh, okay.
Because I'll tell you why. If you talk about sanctuary as a definition of shielding people from law enforcement, we do not do that. What we do is provide services. In this context, what we did is we coordinated the release.
An officer got assaulted because of your policy, which says we're going to release him to, in your words, not mine, to the streets. They have to arrest him in the parking lot. They bring 6 officers when they could have had 1 or 2 just come in your facility, in the jail, and take the guy there. But you won't do it that way.
Because once again, it's the same thing. We have an ordinance. No, the federal law overrides your local ordinance. You know, the Trump administration had to punish these people. Simple as that, where they're not going to stop.